Hello, students. Let's read this problem together. Catherine's monthly budget is shown below. Catherine works as a cashier at Best Buy and receives a payment of $7.75 per hour. What is the minimum number of hours she must work per month to cover her budget? Okay, so make sure you circle and underline important information as you read the problem. And then, of course, you want to reread and pay attention to your question. So here we have the question, and we had what is the minimum? Very important. We want to know what is the minimum, the lowest amount of hours that she must work per month to cover her budget. Okay, so let's talk about this table. This table is showing her monthly budget. So this is the amount that she needs every month. And here they're asking us per month. So we just need to look at this table. However, we don't know her total expense for the month. We know what she pays for different categories, but we need to know our total. So to find our total, we're going to add all of these expenses up. Let's go ahead and take a moment to do that. Okay, do you have your total? Yes, your total is $1,085. That is correct. So in 1 month, Catherine spends $1,085 for her expenses. So now we're going to see what we can do to answer this question. What is the minimum number of hours she must work to cover her budget? So we know she needs $1,085. That's the least amount of money she can have in order to cover all her budget or all her expenses. So she also gets paid $7.75 per hour. So let's think of an equation that we could write that will help us solve this. Okay, so we know that she makes $7.75 per hour. So the number of hours that she works has to give her at least, so actually we're writing inequality because it needs to be greater than or equal to $1,085. Okay, so $77.75 that she's getting paid every hour is going to get multiplied by the number of hours that she works, and we need that amount to be greater than or equal to 1,085, because if she can make 1,085, she will cover all her expenses. If she can make more than 1,085, that's even better because she can make her expenses and have a little bit of money left over. Okay, so we're going to solve this inequality. And remember what we do, we're going to draw a line down that side to make sure that we are staying equal on both sides. So since I have a coefficient, I have 7.75 times h. I want to do the inverse operation so that I can have that h all alone. Because what I am looking for is the number of hours. So I need to know what h should be. So we're going to go ahead and divide by $7.75. Remember, whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. 7.75 divided by 7.75 is 1 whole. So now I have h is greater than or equal to, and we will figure that out if we divide 1,085 by $7.75. Let's go ahead and work that out. 1,085 divided by $7.75. Remember that when we have a decimal in the divisor, when we have a decimal that's in the outside number, we cannot start dividing. We have to move that decimal all the way to the end so that we have a whole number. So we're going to move it 2 times to make 775. which is the whole number. But if I do that, I have to move this decimal twice. Now, I don't see a decimal right now. That's because 1,085 is a whole number. So if I was to put a dollar amount there, like we know it's $1,085, we could put our decimal like this, right? 1,085.00, because that's $1,085. So now I know I can move my decimal 1, 2. And so my decimal will be right at the very end. Okay, so now 775 needs to go into 1,085. And it looks like it's only going to go in one time. That would be 775. Now, also at this time, you can use your answer since you have choices to help you. All of the answers either start with a 1, and one of the answers starts with an 8. So my choices were 1 and 8. And 8 is way too high, so I decided to go with 1. And now, when I subtract, I get 310, because 5 minus 5 is 0, 8 take away 7 is 1, and 10 minus 7 is 3. Now I can bring down the next 0. And I want 775 into 3,100. So I have a couple of choices. I could use 2, 4, or 8. So I'm going to round a little bit, and I'm going to think about 775 as 800, just to think about what could go into 3,100. So 8 times 2 is 16. That seems a little too low. 8 times 4 is 3,200, so maybe. 8 times 8 is 64. That's way too high. So I think by estimating, okay, so you see what I'm doing? I'm estimating. I'm saying 800 times 2. Why? Because I'm trying to look at my answers to help me out. That's 1,600. That's way too low. Then I tried 800 times 4, the other number in the answer choice, the second number in 140, and I get 3,200. That's pretty close. It's a little bit over, but remember, I'm just estimating right now just to see what I should pick. And the last one is 800 times 8. Why? Because the second number in letter D is 8. That's 6,400. So this one's too low, this one's too high, this one looks like it might just be perfect. So I'm going to go with 4. And so now I'm going to put 4 here, and I'm actually going to multiply that out. 5 times 4 is 20. 7 times 4 is 28. Plus 2 is 30. 28, 29, 30, 31. It was perfect. And then I bring down my last 0. 775 into 0 is 0. And now I am done. So it looks like H is greater than or equal to 140. So in 1 month, she needs to work 140 hours or more to be able to pay all of her bills, all of her expenses. Now you might think 140 hours, that's a lot, but remember, this is for a month. So we were actually trying to figure out how many hours would she need to work per week. What could we do next? We could divide by 4, possibly. Most months have 4 weeks. And if we divide by 4, we're going to see that we're going to get roughly around 35 hours per week. So that sounds about average. Let's go ahead and look at our answer choices. So A is 120, that's a little too low. B, 140, that's what we got. C is 80, that's too low. And D, 180, that's not what we got. Even though if she worked 180, she would have enough money, but they said what would be the minimum number. So the minimum number is B, 140 hours.